Santander, Ripple partner, has just announced its launching of its open bank digital offering across the United States and Mexico. This is very big news for three main reasons. One is because open bank serves more than 2 million customers across Europe and has 18 billion euros in deposits, more than any other digital lender across the continent. Two, it shows once again that Ripple is the one spearheading this new digital revolution. And three, and arguably the most important point, this is yet another sign of the inevitable, gruesome death of the old financial system. And I don't use that word gruesome lightly. As we can see in this post from XRP Drops, Bloomberg reported that 11 major central banks are expected to cut rates in the second half of this year, 2024, marking the most synchronized easing cycle since the great financial crash of 2008. This event can have catastrophic effects, from more inflation risk to deter people from being able to save their money. Pay close attention to this video.
10 of the world's 11 major central banks are expected to cut rates in the second half of 2024, marking the most synchronized easing cycle since the great financial crisis of 2008. Last week, the Swiss National Bank became the first major central bank to ease policy after it announced an unexpected 25 basis point cut to its key rate. Other major central banks, including the US Federal Reserve, the ECB, and the Bank of England, are expected to cut rates multiple times before the year ends. In addition, the Central Bank of Brazil, Bank of Mexico, Central Bank of Paraguay, and others have announced rate cuts, with other emerging market economies expected to make similar moves in a few weeks or months. According to Lavish, these rate cuts are a precursor to more reckless monetary printing, because these economies cannot function without further currency debasement. This makes a strong case for Bitcoin, because when everyone realizes how screwed the financial system is, there won't be enough Bitcoin to accommodate the demand. Let's get back to the discussion.
Central banks have gotten themselves in a position where, they cannot handle high rates for long, right? So if you look around the world, our developed countries are up above 100% debt to GDP, and even the UK joined that club last year. That's one aspect of it. I think you're looking around the world and you're hearing central bankers talk about unemployment and employment numbers, and we've heard that from the Fed here and there. So now we're talking about even here whether or not it's not whether or not we're raising or lowering rates anymore. It's just when we're going to lower them, and that's become quite obvious. And so now the markets are just deciding and debating over when and how many cuts are coming. And so, but you heard the Fed and kind of nod toward looking at the employment rates, unemployment rates instead of inflation. Saying that they can be patient, that they don't have to hit the 2% target to be ready to lower rates. That just as long as it's going in the right direction. It's become so obvious. This manipulated system it's an absolute mess, and they're going to continue to do this and kick the can down the road and allow for inflation. Every single central bank is gaslighting the public across the world, and they're printing money, they're expanding the money supply, they're issuing massive amounts of debt, and they're just trying to nominally pay for it with negative rates. And that's basically what we're looking at. If you guys remember, Mike remembers this pretty well, is that during that time of 2010 to 2020, the zero interest rate policy had us at negative rates for a long time. I mean, we were it was basically free money, So this is just it's an incredible situation that we're finding ourselves in, and I feel like it's accelerating. How quickly it's accelerating, I don't know. This obviously has gone on for a long time. The public is not widely aware of it yet. You're hearing some dissatisfaction. You're seeing, I guess, TikToks of younger people who are frustrated that they can't keep up with rent and their wages. But by and large, people are still kind of asleep on it. So they're going to continue to get away with it.
So this is another sign that cryptocurrencies could very well be your saving grace, because fiat is dying worldwide. Turkish lira has gone to zero against Bitcoin. Fiat is dying and Bitcoin is rising. Gold prices surged to a record $2,400 per ounce, showcasing that everyone's getting the money out of fiat and starting to make investments into gold and cryptocurrencies. And furthermore, Hong Kong is set to approve their spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs by Monday, just 3 days away now, according to Bloomberg. This is your sign, your warning to get out of fiat and start making investments into cryptocurrencies. And with Ripple making real world developments, not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, Ripple, XRP, soon it will be XRP, that explodes in value and makes millionaires out of us all.